Divers back at it again today, guys. Hey, what's going on? So I want to go over a few things here today. Okay, we got to go over some stuff. All right, now most of you are basically saying, John, what's going on? Where you been? I've been here. So I'm going to go over some stuff here. All right, now what are these? These are control boards that go on some monitors, some computer screens, and some TVs. Okay, so the reason why this is important, okay, let me change the focus set here, okay? The reason why this is important is that I have like probably 200 pounds of these right now, okay? It's important because one, these have different materials on them, okay? This here, as we're looking at it, we have a lot of gold on this, okay? Oh shoot, there's a big gold in the back. But we also have these. This here, these are MLCCs, okay? These contain palladium. All of these, okay? And so when you melt them, you have to run them through a mill first or take a chisel and break this part off. This part is metal. You have to get a pliers and pull that part off and chisel this out, or put it through a flat machine with two rims, with two holes in it, and it's gonna cut these pieces off. Real simple. It'll pull it rapidly and just shave those pieces off right there, okay? Another thing is this piece here, okay? You do have gold on this, not as much as the other one. Oh, actually, no, maybe a bit. All right? Not as much, but here's the thing. You still have MLCCs on these boards and a lot of other components, okay? Now, these components, this one may contain some gold, but these definitely will contain palladium. We don't talk about this a lot, but we need to, okay? This here, another board. You have MLCCs on this and you have gold. This is one of the most known ones there, okay? This does contain a lot of gold with it. Very few MLCCs, but you have to plier that piece off, okay? Another piece here, a lot of MLCCs on the board. That has to come off there. So is that one, even this one. You have the MLCCs here, pliers comes off, you have some gold. So this contains gold in it. Now, you have to watch if you buy these, all right? Because I was on eBay and I was checking this out. These here, do not pay $10 a pound for them. The most amount is shipping, because a lot of their weight is in the board itself, not the gold. The amount of gold on this board here could probably fit on this one end. On one side, this one end here of gold. That's practically it, okay? So there's gold on it if you can get it for cheap or free, but you have to watch what you pay, okay? Do not pay, if anything, I should be paying $3 a pound for these here. Okay, because it takes a lot of them to get an amount of gold. You really can't do the 1/140 with them because these aren't gold fingers, okay? These are not. Gold fingers themselves are a different amount, okay? And I have a lot of them, okay? I practically have like 200 pounds of this stuff upstairs. Now, why do I like these? Because they contain two different things. They contain gold and they contain MLCCs. Look at this. You have a massive amount on it. So when people basically sell these, if they're selling it for gold scrap, you're not going to get much gold on it, but you're going to get a lot of palladium pieces here. These pieces will add up, okay? Many of the boards that are control boards, or what are called peripherals, will contain MLCCs, okay? These end pieces here, you can make a machine, you can make a little milling machine. Basically, it's just two rollers that press together, and it has a chisel knife at the end of it. You run it through very rapidly. It'll be moving on a roller with a motor, and it will basically just cut these pieces off here. You have to have a guard on it, which will basically work. And it may take all day to run those through at the time. But yeah, I love having these there because you can, again, this might have went through some stuff and now you can see the gold is eroding off of it. But the good part about this is even though the gold is eroding, the MLCCs are still here, okay? Which is a bit good. All right, so you still have some there. Now, let's go to this. I have never seen, this is a new type of scrap. This is a new type of scrap here. What is this? Okay, so this is basically the ribbon strip for a car radio. If you could look at it, you have holes that go in. These are where the pins basically would go through for the ribbon itself, okay? And for those of you in computers, you already know that you have the metal pins that basically go through here, and this would basically be the stamp. However, on the other side of it, which is interesting, you have silver. And so you have a lot of silver on this, and again, it's basically for connecting, but you also have pieces of it there. Now, let's look at two things. One, what is it made of? Is it PCB? Is it ribbon? When we say ribbon, we're talking about something light and something very flexible, okay? It's basically hardened plastic. That's what this is, okay? Now, the silver content on this is a large amount. It is one-sided, but if I move this over, it would take up at least half of that, okay? So 1/4 of this is gonna end up being that silver, okay? So not this side, it's one side, now it's 50. If I move this over and bring that, now we've got 1/4. So that's 1/4 of that silver coating. Now you would have to put this into an acid drip to get all of the silver off. Now, the reason why I like this is because I got this big bag. Actually, I got 2 bags of it that were online. I just looked at, I've never seen, now obviously we've seen gold ribbons before. We know how that basically works. But this is actually from a vehicle. And I'm thinking for this to be from a vehicle, somebody actually had to pull these suckers off. Or it had to be done by a machine, and the machine rejected the pieces there, and this person had it. So think of it like this. Each of these pieces come from a vehicle radio, right? Like one of the old back in the day, right? Think about how many radios this whole bag contains. Like, really think about that. Think about how many radios this bag contains right here. Just one of those strips are for radio. One of those there. I probably have, way over 100, probably about 900, maybe 1,000. Maybe 1,000 of these pieces here. Now, is this good? Yeah, I'd say it's practically good because you do have silver coating on them. Now, here's the question. How much is it worth? To be honest, I don't care. You know why? Because I'm probably only gonna melt a bag and I'm gonna keep the other bag. I'm actually gonna put that in probably a plastic clear box and just actually show that off, okay? Because these are rare pieces. When it comes to certain rare parts of gold, I'll keep it. Stuff like this, I'll probably melt. This is everywhere. You can find this everywhere, right? People can just pull out a TV, you'll pull out a peripheral there. Stuff like this is rare. A car radio, who's gold scrapping a car radio? Some people probably are, but I'm not. And so I have this, and so the good part is we definitely wanna go ahead and check this out, okay? So I'll probably melt one of them there and do that. Now, how much silver is in something like this here, this bag? This bag here probably weighs maybe 10 pounds inside of a Ziploc bag. And so I'd probably say about 1/50th of that right there is gonna end up being silver. So what does that basically mean? If you take 10 pounds, you times that by 454, you get 4,540, okay? And if I say 1/50th of it, 1/50th of that would basically be silver, okay, in silver grams. So let us divide it by 5. You know, let's divide it by 5 and say we get 1,000. Okay, and we'll divide that again. 10, 5. We'll divide that by 10, and let's say we basically get 1,000 divided by 10 is 100 grams. So you get about 100 grams of silver. You times that by 0.7, you get about $70 right there. Not bad. Not bad. So basically, this would probably contain $70 worth of silver. Now, here's the thing. It is going to take some chemicals, but the good part is you don't have to actually burn it. Now, some people, what they actually do is they say, hey, there's the raw way to do it. When they talk about raw, basically, what's the fast way to get the silver out? Put it in a pot, put some gasoline with it, and just light it on fire, right? And what's going to happen is this plastic is going to end up curling, turning black, and then burning away. And you're gonna get left with a whole bunch of other chemicals. You'll probably end up having something that's 60% silver, okay? which is good. Now here's the thing, gold and silver melt at different temperatures. So this is gonna have to get melted at a high heat. Okay, very high heat. So you want to put that sucker in a pot and melt it, you can. You're going to need some gasoline, probably some rubbing alcohol to make it hotter. Okay, but that's what we're basically talking about and looking at. So as we basically see it right now, we have a good amount of gold and silver here, but we also have palladium. To all of you melting these, take a chisel and just cut it off, or make a machine that has 2 metal rolling pins that are activated by a motor that can bring it in, and then have another piece here with a grate that basically just scrapes this parts off there with a guard so it doesn't go on your face, okay? And make sure you take those end pieces off. I'm letting you guys know this because you're always gonna find different types of scrap. There's gold and silver in everything. So, got silver here, which is a good amount of coating, and you got gold, and you got palladium. Not bad. As the economy is getting worse, I hope you guys watch Canadian Prepper, because I definitely do. There's a lot of good stuff here. Okay, one of these days I might create another YouTube channel and just start melting these things away and letting people know how much gold is in it. All right, that's what we got so far. Pro Dumpster Diver is out.